faint sound of a ticking clock. A heartbeat grows louder. What if I'm the villain in my own story? What if, in trying to protect my parents, I just stole their freedom? My name is Emily. I'm 32 years old. A few months ago, I was promoted and transferred to Austin, Texas. Bigger city, bigger paycheck, the kind of opportunity you don't turn down. But my parents stayed back in our small hometown in Iowa, where the streets are quiet. The air smells of fresh-cut grass in summer and in winter, of burning wood and cold metal. I visited them less often now, but they were always on my mind. Mom would tell me how the windows rattled during windstorms, and Dad would laugh about the furnace making funny noises, but insist it still had a few good winters left in it. They're both in their late 60s. And every time I hung up the phone, I'd think, how much longer can they keep living like this? One night, I sat at my kitchen table, staring at a listing for a small white house 3 blocks from mine. It had a little garden, orange trees, a porch swing. Inside, the kitchen cabinets were brand new, and the whole place smelled faintly of fresh paint and lemon polish. I could see them there. Morning coffee, evening walks, family dinners without the 5-hour drive. And that night, I signed the lease without telling them. I told myself it was a surprise, a good one, something that would make them happy, even if they didn't see it coming. When Christmas came, I drove up to Iowa. Snow was falling in thick, slow flakes. I remember stepping onto the porch of their old house. The wooden steps creaked under my boots. Mom opened the door in an apron covered with Christmas reindeer, her cheeks rosy from the oven's heat. The smell of cinnamon pie hit me like a memory from childhood. Dad, Mom, I said with a smile, why don't you come visit me for a while? See where I live now. They agreed instantly. The drive back to Austin felt like a secret I could barely keep. I told them the house belonged to a coworker who was away on a business trip, and she'd let us stay there. When we arrived, I watched their faces light up. Mom ran her hand over the couch cushions, like she was testing their softness. Dad stepped out to the garage, already imagining where his toolbox might go. We started having dinner together every night. I'd hear them laughing in the kitchen when I got home from work. For the first time in years, I felt like a daughter again, not just a voice on the phone. But after 2 weeks, things changed. One night, Dad leaned back in his chair and said, I think we should head home. I miss our bed, our dishes, our couch. Mom nodded. Yeah, honey, it's time to go back. That's when I decided to tell them. You don't have to go back, I said. You can bring your things here. They exchanged confused glances. This house isn't my coworker's, I continued. I rented it for you, so you can live close to me, so we can be together. You don't have to go back to that old wreck. The word wreck left my mouth before I could stop it. Dad's chair scraped against the floor as he stood up. His voice was sharper than I'd heard in years. That wreck is our home, Emily. We built it with our own hands. Every board, every nail. We raised you there. Mom's eyes glistened, but her voice trembled with hurt. You think because you have a good job now you're smarter than us? That you get to make our decisions for us? You're treating us like children. I wanted to explain, to tell them I was scared for them, that I just wanted them safe and close. But every word felt like it was digging the hole deeper. The next morning, they packed their bags. I watched them drive away toward Iowa, the taillights fading into the distance. And then I went back into that perfect little house. Empty now, except for the silence. I still sit here sometimes wondering, when does care turn into control? And when you love someone, how do you know you're not just loving them the way you want instead of the way they need?